Good afternoon, everybody. And we actually have a guest tonight. This is Mark Gassert, and this is Tom Ginn waving at us, Mr. Q Communications. It's good to be back. We're in the flow of everything. And before we get into our guest, Tom usually asks this question. Tell me what you're grateful for.
I'm grateful for another day. I'm grateful for my health. I'm
Good deal.
grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my faith that gives me hope on a day-to-day basis and purpose. Coming off knee surgery, so you recognize mobility, how grateful it is to have it back. Grateful not to have the pain that I was having before. So I'm grateful for a lot, but health is number one. Health is wealth.
That's beautiful, man. I love that. Health is wealth. That is so true. Yeah, I'm glad to be here as well. Obviously, I'm able to do this. Most important of all, I'm really grateful that we have a First Amendment, that we have the ability to exercise our free speech, which we're going to do this evening. We're not going to get into those touchy-feely subjects, but freedom of your faith, press, we could go on about properly assembling peacefully, and even having the ability to petition our own government if they're not doing the things that they should be doing for us. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, we the people. And that's what it's all about. And that's the neat thing about this country. That's what I'm grateful for after being in Greece and seeing things. And not that that's not a great country, but I will say this: America is the best experiment still going today. It enables all of us opportunities. And that leads me into the segue here of our guest this evening. Okay, and we've had him on. And actually, Bryce, you're going to laugh when I tell you this, but it was April 14th, and it's now July 14th. Go figure that. And just real quick, Bryce Grandison is from the West Coast. He's transitioned. So we're going to get into some of that, how he is dealing with Southern hospitality, how they do business here versus West Coast. Things are a little bit different, I'm sure. And now you got to deal with SEC football. So look out for that. That's the only thing that exists on the stratosphere. I'll say that. I live here. I hear it every day. Trust me. But Bryce brings a real dynamic background in real estate. He's a consultant, KellerWilliams, multifamily assets. He's pretty much done it all. And he's at a mid-20s type age. I'm envious. There are a lot of talented young people in our society today, and that's part of why we do this podcast as well. I applaud him for what he does, and I think it's great, and we need more people like you to set the tone out there. And I'm not going to embarrass him anymore. I'm going to bring him up here. So Bryce, thank you for joining us.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks so much, Mark and Tom. It is great to be joining on with you guys. Mark, I feel like when you were introducing me there, I was like, I guess I am all right. I'm doing a little right.
Oh, absolutely. We did meet, and this is when Tom went under the knife for his knee.
Yeah.
And you and I hooked up that day, and I was thinking about Tom. I made a comment about that. Yep. And he's surviving. He's getting around. He just came from the pool, I think he said. Or, I don't know if you were doing rehab or just hanging out, Tom. So I'm not going to put you on the spot. But I know
he got some exercise routines I do for my knee.
Yeah.
The pool, so
totally understand. Again, thanks again, Mark, for inviting me on.
Oh, absolutely. A lot has happened since then, and we didn't forget about you or anybody else out there. Right. It's good to be back. As you know, I had a little bit of a vacation hiccup mentally, physically. Sometimes it's good to get away, kind of get the juices flowing, the creative juices flowing. Think about your purpose, your mission, what you're trying to do out there in the real world, not just business, but, personal development as well. Yeah. I'm real big about that. I'm never really satisfied with where I'm at, where I'm going. And that's why we all keep working at it. And that's what Elevate Your Profits is about. It's people like you on this program, this platform. There are people that have written books. There are people that are in technology, medical. We've had people that, they're kindred spirits with Napoleon Hill, last disciple thereof. I'll mention his name, Benjamin Franklin Gay III, who actually grew up in Metro Atlanta.
Okay.
So we've had Ben on, and there's various people that have causes, purposes. They might be doing something that giving of their time, and they're really passionate about that. And that's what Tom and I look for. So I'm just going to jump into it. And I know Tom's got some questions and things. Now, don't feel like we're putting you on the spot here, but
not at all.
Yo, I ask you what's now, what's new, what's next. So you got to tell us, you've transitioned from a different culture, the West Coast. Now you're here. What do you think about Metro Atlanta, what it has to offer? Because I see all these posts, man, LinkedIn and Facebook, and you're doing the camera and you're saying, hey, look at this house. Look what I'm doing. I even see you spank the white ball playing golf. So with that, go ahead. Tell me what's going on.
Well, I mean, you summed it up there. I mean, that's a little bit of what's new, what's now, and what's next. But I will say what's now, kind of focused in on currently now, right now in this particular moment, juggling the 3 deals that I have under contract right now. So that's super exciting. And just figuring out all the nuances there. Granted, no deal is perfect. Every deal has some complexity. Every deal is not done until it's done. So now it's naturally navigating that. What's new is really more so growing my YouTube channel and my YouTube presence that I got on there. So that's exciting. Grand Realty Group GA is my YouTube channel for those out there. You can search me there. And so that's exciting. Been growing on that and starting to get some transition. I'm really being able to show people across where I'm from and who are now here in Georgia, the most beautiful kind of luxury homes that we have here in the North Atlanta Metro, and just the kind of wealth that's here in this space. So that's super exciting to kind of be able to, grow that and do that. And then what's next overall is continuously just being able to, grow my brand and plant my flag here in the Metro Atlanta area. I truly believe that, it's just a matter of time before I'm growing and one of the best in the business. I think that, I bring a lot to the table, and, at the same time, granted, it doesn't matter if you don't know the people. If you don't got the people out there who want to do the deals and want to, buy homes with you, sell homes, and, investment properties, making moves with me, and making every move grand, then you never necessarily have any business. So it's always about getting out there more than anything, and connecting with the right people, and focusing on growing the brand.
That brings me to a great point. Being a sales professional like you are, you're always looking at, securing more business, hitting that mark, because every month is a challenge for you to hit a number. And, we all kid about that, because you literally are going out there, as they say in the old days, and you're like a frontiersman. If you don't kill something, you're not going to eat. And I please don't take that the wrong way, everybody. But you have to, be able to do that. What are some of the tools that you use? And when I ask you this, I got to ask, what do you listen to stay up to do that? Because we all have ebbs and flows. We all have challenges, and what are some of the things that you're reading? Do you read? Or are you an avid reader?
I'm a listener. I'm a big listener.
Okay.
I'm a big.
The reason I ask you about reading, both my boys are in their 20s, and I tease them all the time. They always kid me about reading. And I said, I probably read sometimes more than I listen. That's what I do on vacation a lot. I read, and sometimes I may zone out. My wife may get mad at me because I'm not in part of the group, but that's what I do. But go ahead.
For me, I'm always trying to stay sharp. For me in this industry, knowledge is power, and the more that you can, number one, stay sharp within the knowledge that you have, and growing your since sharpening your iron, I would say, the better that you could be. And so I'm always, reading or listening to a book called Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. That's just a great one. They also have a podcast that I listen to as well. Just staying sharp, hearing the success of other people who have done it at a high level, and then being able to take bits and pieces of that and pull that into my space. Also, too, listening to just kind of more of a balanced place, but coming from some guys who have been in the industry, is called a Sales Life podcast. It's a couple guys who are commercial real estate brokers, one from down in Southern California, one from up in Kentucky. Guys named Justin Ryder and Sean Ward. But it's a podcast that ultimately encompasses the life of two eat what you kill kind of brokers who have to navigate being fathers and husbands and friends, and also at the same time navigating business and how that goes. So that's that one always kind of narrows me in, allows me to remember like what's most important in the midst of all of the journey of trying to secure new business every day. So that's a little bit of like, what I try to do, the balance of, hey, pulling stuff and learning and growing, and the balance of just hearing other guys go through it who have been doing it a lot longer than I have.
Cool.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, Tom.
What drew you to real estate? Did you have a career path before the traditional thing? Get an education, get a job. What drew you to real estate, and how long have you been doing real estate?
Man, that's a great question. I fell in love with real estate in college, and interestingly enough, I will practice a new. I was in a networking group the other day, and they said, "Hey, start playing around with some new ways to introduce yourself." And so I would say, for me, my grandmother bought my wife and I a home at 20 years old.
Oh,
at
wow.
24, we became landlords. At 25, I went back to school and got my master's degree in real estate just because I fell in love with it there. At 26, I was managing $150 million of multifamily real estate across LA and DC. And now at 28, I'm selling $1 million homes. I say all that to say, somewhere in there, I had some kind of falling in the lap of like, that I love this game. I love how exciting it is. I love the kind of wealth that you can build with it, the stability that you can create. Naturally, I'm a Rich Dad, Poor Dad reader and Kiyosaki. And from there, I just got hooked, and it never left me. Once I recognized that you could make money while you sleep and get your time back, I was on it after that.
Yeah, I just want to, that's your passion. It gives you a purpose.
Yeah.
You get up in the morning.
Oh yeah, man. And also on top of that too, like, man, I get fired up off of this. My wife frequently asks me, she says, "Hey, are you good? Are you loving this? Are you excited? Are you handling this well?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm fired up. I love what I'm doing. I'm excited about what I'm doing, and I'm ready to get after it every day. So, it's been great. It's definitely my passion.
Great. Yeah, having a purpose in life is so important.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Having a purpose and a passion for what you do is critical. And I hear so many people that they, 15, 20 years of a job or 30 years into a job, that's not the norm anymore. It used to be.
Yeah.
People would plan on putting their stake in the ground for 30 years and retire. But I think it's important, anybody that's out there, this whole elevate your profit is to hear why people do what they do. Maybe something you're saying is going to trigger somebody to say, I can do that. Or maybe I need to refine what I'm doing, whatever the case may be. So we never know who we're going to touch. We have Robert Brooker jumped on here. Hi, Robert. How you doing? Elijah Coakley, thanks for jumping on.
I got to ask Elijah, now this is an interesting comment. And you know what? I like adversity. So if you feel that way, he says, proof money makes money and the system is corrupt. So, that's cool. You have a right. Once again, we're talking about the First Amendment. That's beautiful. You feel that way. Not everybody does. And that's the beauty of where we live at. So that was his, statement there to us, and I appreciate that, Elijah. Thank you for checking us out. Hopefully, if you stick around, maybe you can learn some things, and we can learn from you as well.
Absolutely.
Because, like Tom and I always say, elevate your profits is just not about solely money.
Mhm.
And Bryce, you touched on it.
Yeah.
What you do to better yourself,
Oh
your
yeah.
mind, physically, uh, and yeah, here you go. Hi, Elijah. Thank you for keeping the conversation lively. Yeah, and we are into that. Please do. Please make it lively. But what I was going to say, I know physically you do things as well. I know you probably do some sort of exercise workout regime like most of us. Because Tom asked me, well, Mark, how did you meet Bryce? Well, my exercise regime isn't solely this, but I do walk.
Yeah.
And we first met over at Peachtree Corners
Yeah.
and over there at the
park area, open field.
park area. And, it was kind of cool. And you and your wife were just sitting there. I believe you got something at that
Pliable.
pliable. Yes.
Yeah.
And I said, man, those look pretty good. I would have liked to have some.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
For me, I do a couple of different things. Number one, I love to work out. We got a Peloton bike and love to get on there and get a good sweat in. I'm a former athlete, so I definitely got to stay active. My wife and I are really big walkers. We love to walk. I'm saying, from the beginning of our marriage, walking together has been just a frequent flow for us. That's really helped us be able to just communicate, enjoy some time together. And then also too, I've recently started to picking up the game of golf. So I've been out there, man. I play pretty frequently. I'm a former athlete who wants to be good at things. So for me, when I started to recognize, okay, I'm not very good at golf, and I got to figure this out and why. So it's turned a little bit more into like a very consistent thing for me, and definitely a good challenge. But it's one that that allows me to see the progress that I'm making, both in the game of golf, but also too when I take a step back as a young man, as a husband, as a business owner. Now I'm able to kind of correlate some of those same kind of tactics of repeating the same process and getting repetitions and making small minor adjustments. And the game of golf too, when you're golfing, you truly cannot think about much of anything else because it will take you off your game. And so I get to actually really focus, narrow in. I'm a guy in which my mind is always going. In real estate, as a business owner in this space, you're never off. So when I go out there and I get in my golf game, it's allowed me to be able to enjoy and take a little bit of a breather and focus on something else for a moment. So it's been great. It's been really enjoyable.
And with that, I have a question for you, and it's not from me, it's from Elijah. So we'll do this together. How is real estate available for the poor? What is the fruit of the labor when a real estate agent makes money off renters? Just trying to be real. So I don't know where the question's coming from, but you can answer that.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy.
Okay, so let's start off with the first one. How is real estate available for the poor? So when I first read Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I wouldn't have not called myself poor, yet I also would not necessarily call myself wealthy at that point. But the knowledge that I got from that book helped expand my mind to then be able to see what was possible and the way that I can take baby steps towards progress of becoming more monetarily wealthy. Now, for me, I'm big in my faith and I'm a Christian. And for me, I feel like I already have won the prize and I feel like I'm already wealthy with knowing, that I have Jesus. So that's enough for me. But monetarily, just, materially here on this earth wise, real estate starts off with a knowledge basis that you can learn that is available to us all. I think no matter how much money you have the ability with an email account to jump on a YouTube or pick up a book or listen to different things in that way. And so that would be the answer to my part A of this question. And then part B of this question is, where's the fruit of the labor when real estate agents make money off of renters? I don't know if I'm understanding this question clearly.
Right. I'm a little confused on that as well, Bryce.
Well, yeah. I mean, nonetheless, I think that to answer your question, in some way, shape, or form, everybody has a job. Everybody has an opportunity to get up every day and figure out something that they're passionate about. And in the real estate space, mine is real estate, and I've gained and learned a skill set that allows me to, quite frankly, I'm currently now, having moved across the country, I'm a homeowner back in California, but I rent here in Georgia, and that doesn't necessarily make me poor. It doesn't make a real estate agent make money off of me. But nonetheless, I mean,
I know what you're saying.
yeah.
I get it.
Can I interject something here?
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead.
Yeah, it's interesting question. The enterprise of real estate, there's costs associated with it. They have to be covered. Your wage in a property manager role that you used to do, somebody has to pay you to manage the books or make sure the tenants are taken care of. I don't think that's taking advantage of anybody out there.
Yeah.
The quality of the service you're getting is being paid for one way or the other. Pay nothing for it, you get nothing for it. I mean, bottom line. So it's not, we're profiting, right? Anybody that has a job out there, we're profiting off the efforts of our business owner.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's selling cars, whether it's selling candy bars, or whatever the case may be. It's just part of the system, and I believe in meritocracy. The more you invest in yourself, apply that knowledge into the marketplace, you'll get paid more, plain and simple.
That's true.
There
So
you
I
go.
encourage Elijah, become a student of the free enterprise system, no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I find a passion for that's out there, and you do fine. But I want to go back to a friend of mine here in the Milwaukee area, is a real estate developer.
Yes.
He buys land, develops it, new homes, new subdivisions, that type of thing. We've had him on, David Bellman.
Oh, nice.
And he also builds a house every year for a disabled veteran.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, so he belongs to that movement out there to help veterans as well.
Yeah.
But he made a post on Facebook today, and it's relevant to what we're talking about. The question was, this is a question that you, coming from a real estate background.
Yeah.
Two questions here.
Mm-hmm.
First question, should the federal government free up federal land for development? Because the cost of real estate is exorbitantly high.
Mm-hmm.
And if we reduce elements of that cost, land cost, provide more land for development, that drives the cost down. What would be your thought on that?
Yeah.
Point number one. And the big controversy right now is China buying our farmland. I would just a thought is evict them, sell their land for them,
Yeah.
pay them off, and put that land into the real estate development market at a affordable price. What are your thoughts on those two ideas?
Man, those are big ones. Love it though. Number one, should Fed free up land to reduce costs for developers? I think that my first natural thought is yes. Granted, really just depends, I guess, in a grand scheme of things, if, there's some kind of like, this is native land or this is in probate to somebody whose family could benefit from it or whatever case may be. I mean, granted, in those small cases or whatever, let's figure out a way to take care of those people. But there's a ton of land out there just in our natural kind of, hold up from, from the Fed that could be valuable. Now, granted, there's land that's out there that, hey, nobody wants. And at the end of the day, if it has not been developed for one reason or another, and I'm not talking necessarily infill land that's like right in, you know what I'm saying, the inside of your metropolitan city that's held up by the Fed, that should absolutely be freed up for development. But if we're talking, you know, way out or far away from a metropolitan area that nobody wants it or they don't see value of it, well, at the end of the day, you know, you just mentioned, you know, it's in the free enterprise of things. Hey, real estate is about location. And if that land has not been valuable in X amount of time because there is no development there, well, then that's one case. But if it's able to be freed up for developers to be able to go in there and make something out of it, well, then awesome, go for it. So that'll be my thought process there. It's just like, yeah, big picture, the more development that we have, the less things that will cost, because quite frankly, we're a supply and demand and a scarcity, you know, economy. So the less that we have, the more that it's going to cost. So, you know, in your realm or your friend who is a developer, the more properties that we're able to build out here and homes that we can be able to have, home ownership would go up, cost of home ownership would be able to go down. Here in the state of Georgia, you know, we're building homes at an exuberant rate, further and further far away from the metro Atlanta area. But there's so many other areas that give us that now in Georgia have their own hub. You know, out there in Alpharetta and, you know, north of, you know, Atlanta, you got your own kind of tech hub that's growing. You know, over in Brazelton, or, you know what I'm saying, northeast of Atlanta, you got a great deal of trucking and Amazon and stuff that's out there. So like there's, as you find development for different areas and places, there's opportunity to then create demand. And once you create demand, then you can create supply to go along with it. And at that point in time, you can then be able to reduce costs and help there. So that's part A to your question. I need to do more homework on China buying our farmland.
That's okay. We don't expect you to know every answer, man.
Yeah, but I need to do more homework on that. But, you know, that's an interesting one. I think that right now we're in a place in our country where there's a desire for us to win the jockeying of position, I would say, between us and China. And from my experience and understanding and knowledge up until this point, you don't see many opportunities for, granted, of course, there are some companies that are, you know, that are started here that are in China. But as far as buying big farmland areas in China that we're doing on the U.S. side, I don't know how much we're doing that or if China would allow that.
China doesn't allow us.
Right. So on the flip side to that, I don't know why we would allow them to do the same here on the U.S. soil. Yeah, that's about what I got for that. I don't know enough to be too dangerous, but I know big picture concept. If they're not allowing us to do it, why would we allow them to do it here? So,
great point.
Supposedly it'll be all worked out over time. So
yeah,
those were two questions that came up. Freeing up federal land, and I'm not talking about freeing, you know, taking our national parks and our treasures.
Yeah, no.
There's a lot of federal land.
Yeah.
You take Utah. About 70% of Utah is federal land.
Oh wow. Okay.
70% of Utah, you got New Mexico the same way, 70-80% is federal land.
Right.
And again, it goes back, is it usable? Is there industry support residents?
Right.
You know, those type of things. So you have to have a viable, you just can't start building without an economy to support it. So
right, exactly.
You need jobs to pay the mortgage, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It's a complicated issue, but we have a lot of great land that can be turned into the market, bring costs down, make housing, reduce that portion of the cost.
Yeah.
Down. That makes housing. If you could reduce, I think, what is a typical lot here in Wisconsin is about $250,000 a lot.
Yeah.
We're not talking an acre. We're talking a 110 by 150 foot lot. You know, just a standard home lot. You know, 250, 300,000. So it's crazy. So if we can free up more land that's usable, that economy will support new development.
Absolutely.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's definitely some push and pull there, but just the natural law of economics is that the more supply that we can have, to go along with meeting the demand, we'll be in a much better spot and area for everybody to be able to have access to it.
So I'm sharing you these comments from Elijah here, guys, while you're talking. Pretty interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Bank of America wants me dead because of my passion. No opportunity for whistleblowers. Don't know what that's all about. We get punished just being real. And then this one. So you guys can both chime in on this. Scarcity and money is an artificial construct. Well, I don't know about that. I just know if you don't have money, try and do something without it. Try to go to the bank, Mr. Bank. You don't have some sort of collateral. You want to start a brick and mortar institution, or you want to invest in real estate. See how far that gets you. Now, I'm not saying it can't be done. I've heard no money down, and there's different platforms out there, and I'm not going to step on people's toes. And there's even a gentleman out there that's the Monster Mash of, and I know you know who this is, Bryce, Grant Cardone. He's the master blaster, and I'm sure there's ways that he could probably help Elijah here that we haven't even scratched the surface on. And I'm just putting that out there. That's a guy, if you're looking at real estate, Elijah, I'd recommend just go on YouTube and check out some of his programs and platforms. So, we're getting some comments here. Go full DeFi, okay, whatever that means. And here's another one. Most money is digital at this point. So scalar waves can flip bits, hence why the change is coming. Treasury Department tipped me off. So, maybe he knows something. We don't. I don't know. But in this digital age that we're in, I've heard of people saying that banks, the way they conduct business, it's definitely going to change. It's going to affect all of it. So I don't know how y'all, Robert, decentralized finance. So it's kind of wild stuff what's going on in our society today. And I don't have all the answers, America. Like I said,
can I make a comment that goes back to our free enterprise system, the country we live in, our Constitution?
Sure, absolutely.
I always ask this question. I'm part of a group of people here in our community that teaches the Constitution, the 5 writers. Mm-hmm. And it was posed by the former state Supreme Court justice. What are your 2 most important rights in the Constitution? And of course, everybody got, freedom of speech, religion, Second Amendment, right to bear arms, blah, blah, blah. But this one, when he really says, think about this. Freedom of speech is number 1. Be able to assemble, petition your government, all the things that fall in the First Amendment.
Yeah, those are the 5 pillars. You're right.
And the second most important constitutional right is personal property. And it was ruled by the Supreme Court that your paycheck is personal property. Yeah. And so money is not a construct, a false construct. It's a reality.
So Bryce, in other words, why don't you donate your money to me after you put in that hard work? This is where we get into I don't want to say left versus right, but you can't be all things to everybody. I'm all for helping those that want to help themselves. I'm real big on that. And you touched on it, what one could do. One thing I am going to throw up here, you and I talked about this book here, Endless Referrals. I don't know if you got it. If you didn't get it, that's okay. Yeah. But I did connect with Bob and Tom. Eventually, I'd like to get Bob on here. This is an older book that he updated, but it's still some good stuff. And one of the things that you did with me is you actually sent me a note.
Yeah.
Rare. With your business card and so forth, because I know we're in a digital world and it's real quick to go, there it is. I think people remember you more. I've seen other things, and Bob highly recommends other versions in here, which I'm in the process of doing.
Yeah.
Where you are sending a note to somebody with your picture and what you're about, and you're saying to them more or less, hey, if ever I can help you, refer business to you, I most definitely will. And I don't think we do enough of that to help each other out there in the marketplace. I remember back in the day, because I know how real estate's competitive. I was in the trade show industry, and we would go to those meetings like piranha. If anything less than a director of sales on a badge, we didn't even talk to you. Now, how stupid is that? Because Bryce, you may not even be in the industry, but you may know people that are considering a specialized event. You may be affiliated with Major League Baseball. You may be, just visiting, like Tom was mentioning. And so you don't know who that the people you know in your network, the people Tom knows in his network. That's why I'm always open to meeting people. And Elijah, I'm open to, meeting you as well. Feel free to reach out to me. I don't care what we got here. Right now, I'm cold calling for a guy I know. Hey, that's cool. Good for you, Robert. Robert says he's getting in real estate. So look what bills they passed under our noses with free speech. Can't speak out against Israel. Okay, well, I don't know about that. I do know that you pretty much can say what you want to say. I think I'm getting the gist of what you're indicating there, that, yeah, probably some of these social media platforms may go gaga on you, but just to speak out in public, I don't see the cops coming after me, or, everybody's entitled to their opinion. So, it's what you make it, it's how you deal with it. And that's the thing when we talk about mindset. Bad things, I know we could go eons listening to Tom Ginn, because I know as an entrepreneur, he just hopped in and everything went lickety split. He already told you he went through career changes. So everybody goes through some pain, some growth, development, hurt, and I'm not even going to get into mine. It's not worth it, but it's how you handle it, man. And that's what I could say to you, Elijah. It's your mindset. It's how you look at things. Are you grateful for what you have as opposed to what you don't have? Hell, I'm grateful for being able to walk around here, because some of the friends I know, and with Tom, some of my friends are no longer on this planet. And I know the older I get, it's going to get worse. But that's just part of the life cycle. And I think we all are put on this planet for a reason. That's just me, for what it's worth. I'll get a little spiritual on you, but I really do. And your responsibility is to do it to the best of your ability.
Yep.
I'm off my soapbox.
Hey,
Tom, got anything else?
No, I'm. Those are just two questions that were relevant to today's conversation. Get people
Bryce,
thinking about them.
Yeah, pop in your LinkedIn, and I'll post your email as well.
Thank you.
If you want to give out your phone number, I'm always hesitant about doing that, because I don't want to, your phone will be blowing up. Here you go.
My YouTube channel in there.
Okay, here we go. Rest in peace, Bruce Swartz. Rest in peace, Joel Legace, partner, lost 2. Oh, this year alone. Gotcha. Okay, sir. I appreciate you sharing that. Cool. But there you go. That's how you can get in touch with Bryce that way. And as we're talking here, I'll divert and go another way. So is there anything else, Tom, that you want to ask Bryce in the process here?
With my background, I come from a financial services background, insurance, securities, investments, money management. I'm a Dave Ramsey certified coach as well. Common Finances, Art Williams. Grew up under Art Williams. 19 years. What would you? So what? Basically, where was I going to go with that, Mark? Were you asking me a question, Mark?
Yeah, I think what you were talking about is all those things that you've done. You are a certified coach. and you deal with finance, and you have seen a lot of different things come and go, and you've seen the good, bad, and the ugly. Now Bryce here is in real estate doing his thing, and you've even, I'm sure, at some point dabbled with real estate. What
I
do you?
think I'm going to answer that question. Economics runs on law, natural law.
Yep.
You spend X, do Y, it's going to give you a Z result, always in finance. Business the same way. Supply and demand. You can't take those things out of the equation. Try to apply those principles in socialism or communism. The economic principles always have a law associated with it. I'm not saying a law by a mandate, but a natural law that is undisputable. It will always work to give you the same answer, apply it in the same circumstances 100% of the time. So with that all in mind, the key to really success, in my view, is understanding that the environment we operate in has either been put upon us and we've never taken time to investigate it. I just encourage people to become more open, look and evaluate things from a factual basis by law, the natural laws of business. And the really key to success is knowledge is part of it.
Oh yeah.
All the knowledge in the world.
Yep.
It's behavior. Like in my financial coaching, my tagline is behavior before numbers.
Yeah.
We all know what to do to win financially. Spend less than you make. First of all, you got to go out and get a job. If you want to have success, you want to have prosperity, you've got to have a source of income. Your sources of income can come from an employer. Some people look at the government as a source of an income source or redistribution, but it ultimately comes down to your efforts, which you take to the marketplace and get paid, your value. If you want to get paid more, invest more in yourself right here.
Mm-hmm.
And take that knowledge and find other people that are successful and replicate it.
Yep.
You may mention that early on. Find those people that are doing things the right way and pull them and bring them into your environment.
Absolutely.
It's your behavior, your belief systems is going to determine your success.
Yep.
Not your knowledge. If you believe you become wealthy, you will become wealthy. If you believe that you have a lack mentality, you can always have lack. It's behavior. It's a mindset. Bob Proctor, I'm a certified Bob Proctor coach as well. So what's your mindset about money, business, success, wealth, and prosperity? And I always like to use Glenn Morshower. He says, you take any subject, money, a government position, a political position. If I said $1 million, we all have an immediate first thought. That first thought is the direction or your root belief system about that topic. And if it's not going to serve you, you got to change that first thought. You got to change your thinking, bottom line. So that's, hopefully I answered that question.
Yeah. And it's awesome.
Hey, you are right about the behavior part. How about that?
Yeah,
so I'm flashing up these comments. I'm sorry. Larry Fink wants to control our behaviors. I know, man, this guy's pretty heavy. He's getting into some heavy stuff here. Thank you, Elijah, again for enlightening us. Have you heard of the 6-phase meditation? Okay. No, I haven't. I don't know if you gentlemen have. I'm not a disciple thereof, but I'm always open to look at different things. I'll have to check that out, my friend.
If I'm not mistaken, that's a Buddhist
Yeah. Could be.
philosophy. Yeah.
Could be. And one of the things I wanted to point out, a lot of people don't know, and I'll say it because, correct me if I'm wrong, Bryce, you played D3 football.
Division two. Give me one more division.
Okay, sorry, it doesn't matter.
Where'd you play, Bryce?
I played at Azusa Pacific University. It was a small private college down in Southern California.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Two's always want the one, and threes want the two.
Right.
And my son's played small-time college football at Guilford College, and now he's coaching at Gardner Webb. So they're getting ready for their season. And if anybody's interested, I'll make this announcement in September. Gardner Webb will be traveling here to Hot Atlanta to take on, of all teams, Georgia Tech. So hopefully Georgia Tech will not beat them down too bad, but it'll be kind of wild to watch all that. And,
Mark, I'd love to go to that game with you. Let's do that.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be real cool. And he said, okay, here we go. I have not, but meditation is the key to becoming coherent to the static. Okay, so I get it. We're getting into, I am a believer. That being said, breath work and meditation have meshed well with prayers and gratitude. Well, there you go. And I'm not against all these. These are just different tools people do to start their day off, and that's cool. I've seen people do these things. I do not make fun of them. Everybody's got what they do to get them going in the morning. Some people, it could mean turning on the TV, watching the news. I'm just kiddingly saying that could be their routine, man, because they are infiltrated mentally with all that. And I would say to anybody out there, let's watch less TV and perhaps maybe listen to a podcast, read a book, take a walk, because what's on TV right now, particularly on the news media side, I'm not mentioning networks, Facebook, it's not too well put together. I'll be nice about it. It's some real, I'm disenchanted with our news. When you go back and look 25 years ago, how they did news, it's all opinionated now. So, yes, they go hand in hand. It works best around 3 to 4 a.m., I think. Okay. Well, Robert and Elijah are getting into something a little bit different, but I appreciate it, gentlemen. And
we do appreciate the engagement today. That's what it's about. We never know what thought's going to stimulate some action.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, truly. Absolutely.
I'll just pop these up here, and news is one media. Yeah, there you go. So, okay, at least he agreed with that. I do use DeepX to keep up. Okay, all right, cool. Well, guys, we are at the 6:45 mark.
Yeah.
And with that stated, does anybody have anything else they want to add, state? Bryce, do you want to tell us any new projects you're working on or should look for?
Great question, Mark. More than anything, like I mentioned, navigating the current deals that I'm in, growing my YouTube channel, and then just consistently planting my flag here in Atlanta. That's my main focus point. Doing business with good people like you and others around is always on top of my mind. But more than anything, just continue to keep, adding value where I can, giving people insight where I can, and loving what I'm doing. So I'm great there. I want to thank you guys again, Tom and Mark. I highly appreciate it. Love coming on here. Will come on here anytime that I can. So thanks so much.
Well, appreciate you being here, Bryce, taking the time. You have things to do, and we respect your time. And
thank you.
Appreciate you making some time for us to talk to us.
Absolutely.
Tom, anything that you want to throw at us here? Any wisdom nuggets?
Just going back to that book that you put up there, Mark, on referrals.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back to, you may have heard this. I forget who actually said it, but your net worth is the average of the 5 people you associate yourself with.
Yeah.
So look at the people you hang with, what books they're reading, what are they doing? Change your group.
Yeah.
Change.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have to be mean to them, but just start changing who you associate with. Absolutely. It could be on your spiritual side. It could be on your business side. It could be people.
Right.
Just change your environment. You'll get the changes you're looking for.
Absolutely. Well, with that said, I am going to end this because I like to keep my word on time because I know Bryce has got things to do as well. So, Bryce, thank you very much. At some future point, we're going to get you back and you can talk to us. Maybe we can talk on a lighter subject.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk on how you're adapting to Southern hospitality and how you do business. And I think people are pretty friendly here, right? Don't you say?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. And Mark, let's catch up offline as well. I know we mentioned,
yes,
helping you out as too. So
absolutely. Thank you for showing up today. Very grateful for this opportunity for positive association and opportunity. Yes. Thank you, Robert.
Tom,
and Elijah said thank you. Okay, cool.
All right.
Well, I'm going to put you in the green room.
Don't go
and we're going to do that. And Tom, I guess we'll close this rascal out. And
you got it.
So Bryce, thank you again.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Okay. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Mr. Bryce, and great guy. Has a lot of things going for him in my book. It's funny how you meet people, and well, there you go. Hey, Elijah, that's what we're all about. We are respectful for all, and that means people that have different opinions. It's cool. We get it, and that's what the First Amendment's all about in my book. So I embrace that. Tom, you got any closing words here and what you heard from a 20-something? Doesn't that make you feel good that we got people out there making things happen?
Yes, it's quite positive, and hopefully you had an impact on somebody out there today to take a look what they're doing. What's their behavior? What's their thinking? What's their belief system about success? And we'll just close out with that. I just want to thank everybody for jumping on tonight, and God bless everybody.
Yes.
And God bless you all.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all for being here this evening. Love the comments, love the interaction and engagement. And most important of all, it's July 14th. Enjoy the rest of the day. Do something nice for somebody. Even do something nice for yourself. With that, Mark Gassert, Tom Ginn, elevate your profits. We'll catch you next Monday, same time.